We've got the new Acura MDX Type S.
And we're gonna put it in S.
Woohoo! That sounds good.
All right.
Zach's nervous.
All right, let's get into it. What's under the hood of this Type S?
A 3-liter turbo V6 with a 10-speed automatic transmission, 355 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque, standard all-wheel drive, and Acura recommends premium fuel for this Type S.
This is a luxury 3-row SUV. What are the key standard features?
The base trim comes with a 12.3-inch display with true touchpad interface and Amazon Alexa, a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless charger, heated and ventilated front seats, and a heated flat-bottom steering wheel, driver and passenger power seats with memory system, ultra suede and leather seats, a panoramic sunroof, heated rear seats, and a hands-free power tailgate with walk-away auto close.
Now those that are regulars around here, you kind of got my joke at the beginning, but if you're new around here, we're in a Type S. What do we have to put it in?
We got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
See what we did there? And by the way, we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
And if you want to sneak peek what's going on behind the scenes, follow Andrea on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below. This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love-it or return-it guarantee. Visit canadadrives.ca to learn more. Now, we reviewed this MDX when it first came out, coming up on a couple of years ago, and we were floored by how well it handled because this latest model has double wishbone front suspension. Acura brought that back in an SUV, but what's different between that model, which is great, and the Type S?
This comes with a new height adjustable air suspension. So when you put it in Sport and Sport Plus modes, it lowers the vehicle to give you that real sporty feel that you expect from a performance SUV. Or raise it with the new lift mode for extra ground clearance. This is perfect for cottage trails or deep snow.
Now, typically when you get air suspension in midsize or large SUVs, they're doing it for off-road capability.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of that. They're doing it for performance and sportiness, and that's the theme you're going to get from this all the way through it. The other one, Andrea, is I always make a joke about the dynamic mode button in the middle of these vehicles from Acura. It's the biggest dial, and you rarely ever use it. I use it on this one all the time.
Yeah.
Because when you go from Comfort to Sport Plus, in some vehicles it's like a placebo effect. This one you feel a huge difference.
This also has a recalibrated transmission. The steering is sharper. You've got Brembo brakes. Acura has really made an effort to focus on performance in this Type S, and they nailed it.
So halfway through the video, we have questions, coffee, and cars, and then we have our hot topic where we expand on a great question this time around. How does it compete with the competition? Now, a bit of a spoiler alert, I think this really doesn't have any direct competition because this is laser focused on being sporty.
Yeah, it is, and we'll get into that again. What do you think about the looks of this, Zach?
I love it. I think this latest MDX looks fantastic. Some people thought the one we drove a year or so ago was a bit beige and vanilla. I disagree with that. With all of the Type S on it, it looks great.
I really like the low. It kind of feels like a wide stance on this. It looks really aggressive. It's got a long hood, the diamond patterned grille, and then those LED jewel eye headlights. I think it looks sharp. It also comes with 21-inch wheels and 21-inch wide performance tires.
So once again, our hot topic, how does this compare to the competition? Now, when we turn our attention to the inside, and I'm not calling it piano black anymore, I'm calling it hard, shiny plastic, a lot of it in here.
Yeah, it just doesn't jive when this top trim is $83,000 Canadian and just over $72,000 US. I was hoping for a sportier look in here, like brushed aluminum. I think would have looked amazing, especially with that sporty exterior. Carry it on to the interior.
One of my pet peeves is this hard, shiny plastic, piano black, is overused by many manufacturers, but I think the layout is quite functional. We'll get to the big bugaboo, the trackpad in a second, but the rest of it, it's very big.
Yeah, the center console is actually really well organized, and it's more refined looking in my opinion than the RDX. Everything is just a little bit smaller, a little bit more elegant. I find that this is very comfortable. The seats, these 16-way power seats, and it's got a 9 massage feature in here, and I think that this on a long trip is gonna do the trick.
Yeah, it's also a very low step in. It feels like you're driving, when you're behind the wheel especially, like a big luxury performance sedan. It doesn't really show its hand that it's a big 3-row SUV at all. So if you're somebody that likes to be comfortable in a big luxury kind of sedan, you can have your cake and move everybody around too.
I am not crazy about the trackpad. Many of you who own Acura products have said to me, Andrea, you can use voice command. Andrea, you just need to spend more time with it. I took your advice. I still don't like it. If you want to keep the trackpad Acura, do so, but add a touchscreen as well, please.
Yeah, so my rebuttal to that is we get to drive 100 different cars a year. We get to try all of the different systems. And yes, people who have Acuras, RDXs, MDXs with this trackpad, they do get used to it. We're here to tell you there are better systems. That's all we're saying. Now, Andrea, the Type S is expensive. Is there a best value trim?
Well, there's only 2 trims, and that base trim, we went through the key features. It comes with plenty. But if you're looking for extra speakers in the ELS stereo system, the top trim has it, along with a head-up display and 16-power passenger and driver seat. Moving to the second row, that middle seat can be removed. It's about 20 pounds, not light. Take a look at Zach removing it.
Are you saying I don't have enough strength to lift it out?
It
was no problem.
You are strong.
There's no problem for me, Andrea, getting it out. I tell you what, it just needs a little practice, like the trackpad. Once you've mastered it, and I would almost guarantee you, most people will leave that middle seat in the corner of the garage.
Well, here's the problem with removing the middle seat. That's where your storage is and your cup holders for the second and third row. Yeah, they share it with the third row. So once that seat is out, you are losing storage in that area. So that's something to think about before you remove it.
All right, when you get into the back, you hit a button, the second row caddies forward. Getting in isn't a problem. I would say it's adequate. It's great for kids, but for adults, it's not going to be the place you want to spend a lot of time. The seats are kind of hard as well, but I would say in this class, in this category, it actually has fairly good room.
It really does. It's not best in class. It's the Lincoln Aviator that offers more front, second, and third row legroom. And check out our carry-on in a cooler. It fit fine. It's not a huge amount of space behind the third row, but I managed to close the door. And there is also underfloor storage in the MDX for those extra things. MDX wins in overall cargo capacity and space behind the second row in this category.
Yeah, it's big. And that's one of the things we're going to get to after Questions, Coffee, and Cars with our hot topic. How does it compete? I think it doesn't have any competition, but we'll get into that.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Will Type S cannibalize the sport hybrid while the industry is moving towards hybrid? It's weird to see a new generation ditches it. Yeah, I mean, the MDX used to be a hybrid and then Acura got rid of it. But now the plan is to go towards full electrification. Acura has no plans in place to produce a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid.
Now over at Honda, they have a lot of plans for hybrids. In fact, they just announced the Civic Hybrid in the European market. We hope we get it here. So yeah, that's their plan. So the thing about that sport hybrid, it was very expensive and nobody bought it. That's why it's gone.
So Acura is coming out with a pure EV. It's going to be a crossover, and they're working with General Motors. It's going to be on the Ultium platform, which is going to be the same platform as the new Cadillac Lyriq.
Now that's going to be smaller, the compact class. Eventually, we hope it'll make it to this big boy.
Too bad it's difficult to recognize if it's a Spec A or a Type S.
I disagree with that.
Me too.
I think it looks hot in this sort of cherry, fire engine, red. I think it looks great.
Me too. So here's some differences. The grille surround is body colored. It also has those large air vents in black in the front. And how about moving around to the back with those quad exhaust pipes, plus the red calipers. I mean, it looks pretty sweet.
Now, I do get your point. The A-Spec is a sporty looking vehicle, but you know what? You just have to be happy in your heart knowing that you're driving a Type S.
And plus there's Type S badging
everywhere
all around it, so you can't really miss it either. We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's so easy to find.
All you do is go to the YouTube search bar and you type in Motormouth, the name of the channel, then the brand you're looking for. In this case, Acura. Then all of our reviews pop up. It's that easy.
How is the 25-speaker ELS signature sound system compared to the Germans and Korean competition? I'm an audiophile enthusiast. Is it worth the extra money above the regular advanced trim or regular Type S? Thanks for the great videos. Keep it up. Thank you.
Yes, it is worth it. I think Acura, this system is really good. However, Andrew, can I just jump in and say one thing about it?
Sure.
I wouldn't be comparing this to the Germans. What about the American systems?
Ooh.
Yeah, no, they're good.
Right, that AKG system, it's 35 speakers in the Cadillac Escalade. It is sweet.
And then the Revel system from Lincoln rivals the Cadillac system. They're the best in the industry. This one's good though.
This one's really good. So the base trim of the Type S comes with a 16 speaker system, and this top model is 25. It's very crisp and clear. I think that you would like it a lot.
But you know, as an audiophile, that it's really kind of subjective what works, especially in a moving object with a lot of wind and road noise. I mean, there's a lot of forces at play with a car compared to your basement audiophile setup with your Lynn Sondak turntable and your Macintosh tube amps.
You know which other one I really like is Mark Levinson.
Yeah.
That is another
He's
good
a nice
one.
guy, Mark. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
The MDX has always been a solid choice in the SUV category when it came to style, powertrain, ride, handling, but the prices have grown eye-watering. The biggest asset the Japanese and Korean manufacturers had was the price advantage by a long shot, but at the high $70,000 range, many may just go for an X5, Q7, GLE, or Cayenne.
So I contend this doesn't really have any direct competitors. So if you're going to get an X5 or a GLE from Mercedes-Benz, they're smaller. This is a real three-row SUV.
Yeah.
If you're going to get an Infiniti, doesn't have the power of this Type S. If you're going to go and buy a Genesis GV80, it's smaller than this, more money, and it's floaty-boaty traditional luxury. This is laser focused on being a performance three-row SUV, and there really isn't anything that competes with it.
Well, I think that the Audi Q7 is actually a good competitor to this. It's got some great power. You've got a few different engines to choose from. I also think because it comes with the third row, it is standard, something like the X5 and the GLE 450, you have to add that third row. And the Q7, I always say that Audi offers a lot of value. Those base trims come with a lot of features, not as much as this, but it would be a little bit more affordable for some people.
Okay, so the Q7 you want, that's the performance model, is the SQ7. That's like over 100 grand with a V8 under the hood. That's really a totally different category than this. I think this is in its own category. You want a large performance three-row SUV that is focused on being a driver's vehicle. It's not a Genesis.
Well, I kind of disagree with you, Zach, because that Q755 offers around the same power as this.
That's an ancient engine. That's an old turbo.
It may be ancient, but it still offers equivalent power. Many people will buy Japanese brands over German brands because of reliability, and that is not necessarily the case with Acura right now. J.D. Power just put out its 2022 dependability study, and Acura is in 28th spot. I heard from some followers who own the MDX. Some say that they love it. Others are having a few issues, such as the wireless charger pad not working and the brake lights.
Well, I've been saying I think it's kind of in a class of its own, but there are competitors, and we'll see what they cost and how much power they have.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Genesis GV80 3.5T with a 3.5-liter twin turbocharged V6, 375 horsepower, and a starting price of $77,500.
The Lincoln Aviator with a twin-turbo 3-liter V6 with 400 horsepower and a starting price of $71,000.
Mercedes-Benz GLE 450 has a 3-liter turbo inline-6 with EQ boost, 362 horsepower, and a starting price of just over $81,500.
Here's our used car alternative from CanadaDrives.ca. We chose a 2017 Audi Q7 with 112,000 kilometers for $39,590. Click the tab or the link in the description below to find more vehicles in this category from CanadaDrives.ca.
So there are 4 SUVs for you to consider.
What's the warranty? How much can this tow? What's the fuel economy? Here's our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. The Type S base model is $79,000 Canadian and just under $67,000 US. The Type S Ultra in Canada is $83,000 and the Advance in the US is just over $72,000. JD Power hasn't rated the 2022 MDX yet, but the 2020 model gets an overall score of 77 out of 100. CarEdge states the MDX will retain 45% of its value after 5 years.
Here's the fuel economy. 13.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 11.2 on the highway. That's 17 miles per gallon city, 21 miles per gallon highway. This MDX can tow 5,000 pounds and it comes with a 4-year, 80,000 kilometer or 50,000 mile warranty. Lightning round, 2 things we like to see improved.
I love the way this handles.
I like the way it looks.
I would love to see brushed aluminum in here instead of piano black.
You stole mine. Too much hard, shiny plastic.
Well, we agree. We picked this up. I didn't know what to expect. I like it a lot.
I think this is in a class of its own.
This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love it or return it guarantee. Visit CanadaDrives.ca to learn more.